Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Texan Tailgate. My name is Forrest. I will be your host tonight, and I'm going to be joined by a wonderful panel. We're going to introduce first Mr. David Lee. We've got
Good.
Hexaquin, and we
Hi,
have
guys.
Immutable. How's everybody doing?
Good. Good.
Doing well. Glad to be
Good.
here.
Everyone have a
Good.
good
Thank
week?
you, Forrest.
So we got a little bit of an echo happening on. You guys have audio loud and clear?
I
Good on my end.
sound good on my end.
Okay, I'm going to try to put in a little bit of background music for us tonight. I'm going to keep on trying to up the production quality throughout the week. So let me know if it's too loud, or everyone in the chat, be sure to let me know as well. Right at the beginning, we had the new Texan token explainer that came up on their website. So I wanted to share that out. For anyone who's new here, again, my name's Forrest, and we're a group of folks who got together, and we are looking to brighten our horizons in the cryptocurrency space and learn together in community. Shout outs to everybody who's here in the chat. I see all sorts of wonderful folks, wonderful names here. Thank you for being here. Godfather J6, we got you in the chat. We've got Mobius, thank you for being here. Adrian, Crypto Heartbeat CHB dropping in. Thank you for being here, brother. We've got FL. Are y'all ready to have some fun? I know I am. Let's see here. We got
to start handing out wrenches pretty soon, except for Rags. Don't give him one.
No. He'll reach out to one of you guys and he'll figure out how to
I
do
don't
it,
want
right?
one.
Let's see. And we got KD showing up in there. We got someone warming up the grill. Who was that? That was FL. Thank you. Now I'll take it medium rare, please.
Hopefully some good brisket.
Cody Lane, thank you very much for commenting first thing on Twitter. You came out and said you were excited for tonight, and I'm glad that you're here as well. Push go live, Crypto Heartbeat. All right,
You did it tonight.
I pressed it so many times I thought I was going to end it immediately too. It's just over here just button mashing. Let's go. Look at that. You're in two places at once. You transcend space and time, Hexaquin.
I'm everywhere. You not see anyone.
Howdy, Godfather. We got Zuleta. I don't know how to say that. I apologize. Ari, I believe is how I pronounce the first name.
Ari's the man. He's an admin for Ophir.
Fantastic. I'm glad to have you here. Yeah, we have a very exciting show coming up. I'm going to go through the list here. We'll try to get caught up. Freddie Quotes, let's go. Crypto Heartbeat, shout out to Freddie. Yo, let's go. Rags to Riches, what's up, brother? What's up, my man? You got KD. All right. Well, we have a very, very exciting show for everybody, and super pleased to introduce you all to somebody who's really cool, who is a part of something that is exceptional. Before we got into it, though, I was thinking earlier today, I was looking at Twitter, and sometimes you can see on Twitter that it seems and feels as if like the world is on fire. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, how come everyone's just putting so much down, right? And like it made me think. I was born in Western North Carolina, on a reservation there, and one of our neighbors, Gatlinburg, they call it fire. And everyone was freaking out about the fire on the mountain. Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to recover from this? This is going to destroy businesses. This is going to destroy livelihood, and it destroys all of the beautiful things that we're used to. So I was thinking about it, and then I reflected back to the year after that fire had set and the new season, the new spring had sprung. There was all this beautiful life that had started to sprout up from the ground. All of the people in the area, all of the community members came together. They reinforced each other. They helped each other, and like iron and fire became stronger through it all. And I was down there recently, and it was just very, very interesting and moving to me in the parallel of it being like how everything feels like it might be set ablaze, but imagine how beautiful this world is going to be. And I think that the stream is very, very much going to echo into that. And so before we get too far into it, we have a new bit coming on from Immutable. So Immutable, I got something for you, man. All right, I made this for you earlier today. Let's see.
Excited.
I mean, don't get too excited. It ain't that great.
I don't know, you were hyping it up earlier, so.
All right, so we got a new segment coming on from Immutable, and this is how we're gonna get it going. Let me know what you all think in the comments, and we're gonna turn the mic over to Immutable next. All right, Immutable on the whale watch, my friend. What you got for us?
That was really good. So first of all, that was very well done. Yeah, so I was just thinking this week, or earlier, I guess last week, after I watched the first episode, I was thinking, all right, what could I bring of value to the community? And so I was looking through some of the comments. And, you know, every time you look at the comments, there's always people talking about the top whales and like, oh, they're selling, or oh, what are they doing, this, that, or the other thing. So I wanted to kind of come in here, do a little bit of analysis on those top wallets and just kind of show the community like what these top wallets are doing. So what I did is I'm still work in progress, and I'm definitely not Rags level. So Rags, I know he's a lot better at the on-chain analysis than I am, but so I just wanted to go through a couple of the top wallets that and what they've been doing. So today, for example, the number 2 wallet. So first of all, number 1 wallet, in case everyone did not know, is Godwhale. So Godwhale is a huge Hex supporter, has a ton of Hex. He also is by far the number 1 largest wallet in TEXAN, with over 240 trillion, or billion, sorry, not trillion, 240 billion TEXAN token.
Wow.
And as of this moment, he hasn't touched it. It's still sitting in his wallet. And if we look at his past history, he's a benevolent whale. He hasn't touched, he does very little with the Ethereum that he had as a Genesis Ethereum wallet. With Hex, he hasn't, he's been very benevolent with it. And so far with TEXAN, it's the same thing. But then moving into the second wallet, so just today, the second wallet, number 2 wallet, 16CD, so that's the last 4 numbers of the wallet address, was buying a lot more TEXAN and starting to accumulate it. And so you can kind of see it on the chart. So today you saw kind of a bit of a run up. I think we started the day around 0.52. I'm not going to mention the 4 zeros before every single time. So just when I say 0.52, just know that there's 4 zeros ahead of it. We started the day about 0.52, and now we're running back up to 0.58, closing in on all-time highs. If you don't count the ridiculous opening candle of $1 that someone set on one of the pairs. Yeah, so 16CD has been buying. And then I'm going to go through some of the stakes here. So a lot of people I know were like throughout the first week, I know there was a couple of large accounts, large wallets that were selling Hex and selling TEXAN. And so that's initially after that price run up, we dropped off for a little bit before we started accumulating, and then preparing to run up on, I think it was March 14th. So about 5 days ago was when we had that massive run up from about I think it was 0.2 to I'm looking at the chart here, about 0.51. Yeah, so looking at top wallets. So right now there are, let's see, there is over 60 stakes of 1 billion or 1 billion TEXAN or more. So that's just wallets with 1 billion in TEXAN staking. So some of those wallets are repeat addresses. Some of those wallets, are from the team. Some are from the TNM, and so that's a lot of it. But then if you take those out, you still have about 45 to 50 wallets and 45 to 50 stakes of over 1 billion or 1 billion or more. So just kind of wanted to reassure the community, like there are very many benevolent whales. You look at the top airdropped wallets, there's a lot of, I'm looking at it right now. I went through about the top, I'd say about the first 40 or so. And it looks like, I would say about 50% of those top wallets have at least a significant portion staked right now. And then the other half have not touched it at all. So it's just sitting there. There's only, I think out of that top 40 wallets that got airdropped, there's maybe there's like one or two that sold. There's a couple that have provided liquidity. And so they've sold that way, but it hasn't, they didn't sell all of it. Those wallets that provided liquidity also provided a significant amount of Texan stakes. So a lot of benevolent whales in this system. So I just kind of wanted to provide the community with that. If you want to do some better research than I've been doing, please do. Please let me know. I mean, please share with the community, because I'm not excellent at this yet. I'm working my way through it, just like we're all working our way through this Texan tailgate. So I'm just trying to provide value there. So yeah,
Thank you so much, man. That was awesome.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, super interesting. Can I leave a note for something sometime in 2025? Those wallets that dumped early. Let's revisit them and see how bad they wrecked themselves.
They
Sure.
already don't want to talk about it. What do you? I don't want to talk about it today.
Yeah, while I was doing this analysis, I was thinking about I think there was 2 wallets in particular that were, I think they were top 10 wallets from the airdrop that like sold during the first week or 2. And I'm just thinking now, I'm looking at the chart and like, man, if they had been a little bit more, like even if they had still sold or provided liquidity to exit out, like they would have 5x, 6x their bag, and also not nuking the price nearly as much as they did in those early days. So
Right. Yeah, definitely.
but then on the flip side of that, the price really helped. Like despite those massive bags being sold very quickly, the price chart really recovered very quickly. And I mean, the chart speaks for itself. I mean, we're up at what I say 0.58 right now. 0.609 ish is the real all-time high. So we're right there right now.
Very good, man. Thank you for all the work that you do, man. That was I don't even know how you were able to gather all that information and it not be a whole year past the time. That's amazing. I want to pull up a couple of things real quick for you all, and then we're gonna bring on our very special guest. The first thing I want to pull up is I'm gonna share this real quick. I'm still learning the buttons, folks. Bear with me. Let's see. I want to
You're
show you
doing
all
great.
something that I am terribly bullish on. I'm also very, very super stoked about Richard's tweet earlier today. I don't know if you all saw that.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Yeah.
around the corner. I mean, that was verified from the source, man. I'm super stoked. So I do.
That last tweet, like a couple of days ago when he tweeted, I had the same kind of energy that I had in May of last year, when we thought we were getting real close. I was like, oh man, we are here. And then tonight's tweet,
I have to admit, I still haven't got that energy back. Like it's gone.
Yeah.
I believe
I'm
it
not
when
a
I see
developer,
it.
but it seems like it's right there.
Mm-hmm. Well, folks, I want to bring on a very special guest, and it is our pleasure to have him on. This guy is a huge inspiration to me, and without further ado, I'm just going to bring him on. I'd like to welcome Firestarter88 to the stream. How are you doing, John?
Hey guys, good evening. Thanks so much for having me on. Privileged to be here, and thank you for the very kind words as well, man. You guys are all a major inspiration to me as well, big time.
Yeah, man. For the folks who may be new to your face and new to your project, could you give us a little bit of an overview of that and tell us something you'd like to share about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my background, I'm actually fairly new into crypto. So I came in, at the top of the last bull run, last major bull run. So lots of major lessons learned there. But I was actually working in the nonprofit world. So I was working for a church for some time. I lived in the UK for about 10 years, was the worship pastor for a church over there. And my family's actually in the automotive industry. So I veered off and did something completely different. But I'm third generation in the automotive industry. And so we have a network of dealers here. But I decided to I chose a different path. And around 2014, my father flew over to the UK to ask me to come back to help with the family business. And so, I did just that. But crypto and finance and entrepreneurship and all that sort of stuff was really not something that resonated so much with me. In fact, my story is it's an odd one because I being the eldest in the family business, I was expected to take over, right, and to work and to help out with the businesses. But um, strangely enough, as I became serious about my faith, so I'm a Christian, and that's probably the most important thing about me, that I can share. The most important thing to me, and the first thing that happened was there was a real distaste for wealth, that mainly because I felt that that was the main reason that I kind of just went off the beaten. Is that the right way of putting it? Basically, my priorities just got all screwed up, and I kind of blamed it on that, right? And so, um, but then, yeah. So after moving to the UK, living there for about a decade, and my father asked me to come back and to help out, and so I came back home, and eventually, the pandemic hit, right? And my eyes were open to a heck of a lot, because I'd always, I guess, even if I had chosen a different path from the family business, I always had that as a backup, I guess, right, in a sense. And I'd never really seen. I'd always lived in a bit of a bubble, and although I'm from the Philippines, you hear about the poverty and the devastation and all the stuff that people are going through, but I had never really experienced it firsthand until the pandemic, right? And so, yeah, so real eye-opening experience there, and by God's grace, I started building relationships with a number of churches that were working to help the situation, and people who were, because it was really the poor that suffered when that happened, right, during the lockdowns. And
Right.
and so, I started building relationships with a lot of these churches, and a lot of these organizations that were working to help the situation, to help these people who were suffering. And it was around that time that it just, there's a really strong impression that came over me that, there are solutions to these problems. And we live in such an abundant world. And can you guys hear me, by the way? Because you guys are just froze. I don't know if it's my connection or yours, or
You dropped out for a second, but you're back clear now.
We can hear you.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Okay. Excellent. So anyway, so yeah, to cut a long story short, basically what happened was, like, I decided to leave the family business again, and just go all in with blockchain, because it made when I discovered blockchain, um, it just became apparent to me that, the solutions that it provides, and just the amount of impact that one can make, and the ability um, to achieve your full economic potential, in such a short span of time. Like, it was just such a massive eye opener to me that, yeah, I just went like completely all in, right? And around this time, started researching like mad. Eventually, after going through the typical Furu journey, landed on Richard Hart, and then eventually Crypto Heartbeat. And yeah, that was it. When finding people that you can trust, and to me, that was it made all the difference, finding guys like Crypto Heartbeat, and a lot of the guys from your community, right? That just it made it apparently clear to me that this is a space that where I need where I need to be, and where I need to focus. And so when I met Crypto Heartbeat, this was around April of last year, and he brought up that they were working on TEXAN, right? I didn't even know this at that point in time, because he hadn't shared anything about it. And it was a total like cold call, right, out of the blue, reaching out to this guy purely just to learn. And then wow, all these doors started opening up, and one thing after the other came into place, so that now we're at the cusp um, of um, of working with thousands of churches, right? So
yeah.
so yeah, so the idea for Ophir came about around that time. So it's been about a year now that we've been working on it. But it's essentially the same. We're using the same smart contract as TEXAN. What's different mainly is really the distribution model behind it. So, Texan is in partnership with the Texas Nationalist Movement. That's one massive organization of about 500,000 people. Whereas with us, we have an official partner called the GEMAFEC, or General Mariano Alvarez Fellowship of Evangelical Churches. But the distribution model in our case is we're giving out these tokens to literally thousands of churches around the Philippines. And so, yeah, logistically, it's definitely going to be a bit of a challenge. But then the scale of this, I mean, it can just be absolutely, the potential is absolutely massive. The reception that we've gotten from the churches has been absolutely insane, that in itself is nothing short of miraculous, because it's very difficult to get into churches with cryptocurrency.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's a roundabout way of answering your question.
No, that was phenomenal, man. I appreciate the insight on it too. And I wanted to ask, I mean, you are the boots on the ground, and you are going to these churches. What is their reception of this, and like, what are their thoughts?
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? You get a real mix, because so in the Philippines is actually pretty advanced when it comes to crypto. As far as you guys are probably familiar with Axie Infinity, right? And how the Philippines had more Axie Infinity scholars than anywhere else in the whole world. And we were ranked, I think it was at one point, one of the top. We had more MetaMask wallets than, I think it was like top 3 or something at one point in the world. And so you have these, these pockets of you have these individuals who know about crypto, but it's a real mix in these churches, wherein a vast majority obviously are no coiners, but then every once in a while you'll have a couple of guys there who are actually very, very familiar. And so the thing is, as I mentioned earlier on, trust was established way, way back. So even before there was this idea of crypto, I was already working alongside a number of these leaders who were very influential. And because they have such good reputation. So one person in particular, Chairman Roy Gonzalez, because he's very, very well respected and has such a wonderful reputation among most leaders in various organizations and councils, that laid the groundwork for our being able to have the reception that we now have with all of these churches, because it's been absolutely amazing, right? It's like we had to get over that initial stage of that trust. That once that trust was established, it's like it has been, the response that we've gotten has been just breathtaking, guys. Like, seriously,
Awesome.
the number of churches that are clamoring to take part and that are showing their support. And of course, the challenge is that the vast majority are, like I said, they're no coiners, right? They don't know where to start. But as far as the numbers and the the positive response that we've gotten, it's been off the charts, man. Like,
Fantastic.
really off the charts.
That's really inspiring, and it gives me a whole lot of hope, man. In my soul, it kind of soothes it in a lot of ways. And for what you all are doing and for what you stand for, and with the churches, it means a lot to me. Like, personally, my grandmother spent a lot of time in the Philippines, and
Oh, really?
yeah, she would go
Really?
over. Yeah, she was a missionary. She ran a church in
Wow.
Western North Carolina. Yeah, and so she went over there and helped spread the gospel as well. And we actually have a couple of family members. Two of my cousins are Filipino, and
Wow.
so
Okay.
your project is really, really, really awesome to me in a lot of different aspects. And just hearing it all from your perspective, and what you all are doing, bringing in these new coiners and the church community altogether, I think it will serve a great purpose beyond ourselves. And I think that's truly what this is about, and that is awesome.
Yeah, and you know what? Even just so, these churches, right? The vast majority of churches that we're working with, these are guys who are working in more remote areas and who are more working at the grassroots level. So not so much. I mean, we won't turn anyone away from being a beneficiary, right? But our focus was really not so much the mega churches and But you know what's so amazing is, like, we're not even at that point yet, right? In the process where we actually allocate tokens to them, right? I mean,
Sure.
Ophir hasn't launched on the blockchain yet. Are just being there, like just actually visiting these guys. You should. I mean, I wish that I could take some of you guys on. And eventually, maybe you guys can,
Yeah.
make your way to. I mean, seriously, pastors like in tears just because we're there, like, breaking down and so grateful and praising the Lord just because there are people who are making an effort to go to these places, to be with them, to support them, and we haven't even given them anything yet, right? So can you just imagine the kind of what's so wonderful about these individuals? The vast majority of them is they've been doing this selflessly for
Mhm.
years and years without any support. I mean, many of them have left good jobs abroad. Many of them are have the credentials and the experience to actually get well-paying jobs, but they've left those jobs to be able to help in these communities. And so yeah, anyways, it's just been such a joy, doing these presentations, reaching out to these churches, getting to meet them, learning their stories as well. Like, super inspiring when you hear what these folks have been through, and also just how faithful God has been,
Right.
to them in the midst of the challenges that they've had.
Phenomenal, my friend. I want to turn it over
A
to
lot
the
of
panel.
your Instagram.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, first.
No, you're fine, man. I was going to turn it over
The
to you
Ophir
guys.
Crypto Instagram has a lot of those visits, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
John, seeing you guys there on the field, in the ground, and the reaction
Thanks,
that you're
man.
getting,
Thanks.
it's very inspiring, and what you're doing, and yeah, it's just wonderful. Thank you for all this and being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's a privilege, man. I mean, and really, none of this, would have been possible if not for all the work that you guys have been doing as a community, and the communities that have inspired this. That's something that really excites me as well. Getting these no coiners introduced to the larger communities, whether it's Texan, Pulsicans, Hexicans, who, that they can start crypto right. As well, to me is it's amazing, and I'm trying to explain it to them as well, that for them to realize just how much of a blessing it is for them too, that this is their starting point, right, into crypto, and they're going to be engaging with folks who truly do care and who truly have integrity and who are about being a blessing, and unlocking abundance and generosity, and being of service to them, because that's not how, I mean, there's a lot of crypto that's not like that, right?
Right, for sure.
No, you're putting them at the beginning of the line instead of being at the end of the line. They've literally been this early in adoption.
Yeah.
Can't even imagine what the future holds for them.
Yeah.
And John, I wanted to pull up the Ophir website real quick, and maybe you can walk us through it.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
if I'm not mistaken, you all are in the donation phase currently. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So we just started the donation phase March 6th. That'll last for 90 days. So I think it's still June, like 8 or 9, somewhere thereabouts. And yeah, so that's ongoing right now. Hold on a sec. Let me just open things up on my end.
So while you're doing that, I was just going to answer. So Mega Olib 1977. This is where you can go right here. The website that Forrest is pulling up. I don't know if John or Forrest, if you want to say the website out loud so that they can go and check it out when you're done. There it is, right up front. And then also the Telegram, t.me/Ophir Crypto.
Yeah, that's right. So we're already taking donations. Cryptocurrencies that are accepted are USDT, USDC, Ethereum, Hex, SLP, and Texan. Yeah, thanks for jumping over there for
Hey, no
us.
worries.
Yeah, so if you click through the donate button, that'll take you here. And this gives you all the details, the wallet address of our of the official partner, GEMAFEC, or General Mariano Alvarez Fellowship of Evangelical Churches. So yeah, that's their wallet address there. All of the donations will go to them, and those who donate will receive a zero value donation premium of Ophir at 10,000 Ophir to 1. So
Awesome.
yeah,
So,
all pretty much very similar to the TEXAN model.
yeah, so I just wanted to highlight there exactly what you said there. So absolutely zero of the money that is being donated is going to John. None of it's going to John. None of it's going to the team. Just like with TEXAN, it's all going to this organization of churches to help the people that need it. And then
That's right.
just to clarify something that you were mentioning earlier, John, you were talking about the distribution to these churches. Can you you go into a little bit more detail about what you're going to be doing to provide these churches with these Ophir tokens? Are they going to be liquid? Are they going to be staked? Is there going to be some sort of education for these people? Because I know you mentioned a lot of these people are no coiners. There's a few scattered people with education about crypto. If you just want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the scaling of this that really, that's really where the challenge is. So I mean, this is going to be a combination of like in-person sessions. So we're working on building out like regional ambassadors that can basically replicate what we're doing right now to onboard these churches, right? I mean, the process that we go through is we do these presentations to usually it'll be like 100, 200 church leaders at a time. And we have those inroads through the leaders of the organizations, the municipal chairman of these larger organizations. Each of them have literally thousands of churches. The one we work most closely with is Cavite for Jesus movement. They have over 3,000 churches, right? And so it's setting up these presentations. Currently, we're still scaling out the team, but eventually we'll be doing these, simultaneously. We'll be having on-site, what do you call this, like sessions where we literally help people set up their wallets. We're working on partnerships actually with Binance and YGG as well, since obviously it's in their interest, right? This is a massive network of people, and they're gonna need to, Binance is the primary way that people onboard and offboard here in the Philippines, and so so they'll be in person, but we're also setting up, our video tutorials and. It's mainly Facebook that we're making use of right now, since the vast majority of Filipinos are on Facebook, right? So through Facebook groups, and that would be augmented through our partners as well. And they will be, so these will be staked, definitely. So when we onboard the beneficiaries, that's part of the what we agree on as well, that technically, we can't force them, but we're optimistic, obviously, given that they're going to be learning about all of these principles from our communities, and it wouldn't really make sense for folks to to unstake and sell anyways, given what they would learn. And but yeah, that's one of the things that so I can open this up to you guys. One of the things we were discussing, okay, do we stake them for them, right? But then right now we're leaning towards actually just sending them the the tokens, and having them go through the process and basically take ownership, right?
Sure.
So yeah, that's one of the discussions that we've been having as of late.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Just want to go hop into the chat real quick. We got Roof Dog in the house. Shout out to you. We got Mr. Rock Jockey, Texan.
Hey, Mr. Rock Jockey, what's up, brother? Super supportive guy, man. Who's been at a lot of our streams, and from the Philippines. He's an expat in the Philippines.
Pleasure to have him, man. This is awesome. This is super cool stuff. Everyone is super receptive. We got hundreds from coming from Mobius. Earlier, 1977, Mega Olive 1977 had asked where to learn more, and this is the direct link here, the ophircrypto.com, and that will pull you back up to the website, which will launch up here. It looks like all of the navigation is very carefully constructed, so you can get to all of the information that you want to see. The donate button is up at top. You can add the Ophir directly to wallet whenever it becomes available. View
That's
Ophir
right.
contract. So this is where you can go to view the white paper. Correct?
Oh no, on testnet. So currently, if you click that button, you will see the test Ophir contract on testnet. Yeah, that's good that you pointed out, because some people were wondering, like, why is it? Because it's not on the blockchain yet, right? I mean, actual Ophir,
right?
it's not launched yet. Yeah,
that makes total sense.
Same with the I'll point out as well that the audit currently. So if you go to the audit button on the left hand side, that leads to the TEXAN audit currently. The audit of TEXAN, because they're still they're going to be getting a fresh audit, a new audit for Ophir, which should be out in a few weeks. But currently, it's a TEXAN smart contract audit that's there.
Fantastic. Yeah, I would have kept it up on the screen. It does launch over onto CertX's website. I'll show folks what to expect when they see that really quick. So here it will launch up over onto certic.com/projects, and then it will launch the TEXAN endowment token contract for the time being, while they are getting everything re-verified through Certic for their Ophir program. Correct? Very good.
Yep, that's right.
All right, let me close that back out of here real quick. So Hexy Quinn. Hexy's got the best questions in all of the land. All of the land.
No, I don't. I do have a question though.
What you got?
So not just for Ophir, but with TEXAN too. I know it's just mind blowing. I'm thinking about all the new coiners being onboarded. What does, on your end, what does the education and security look like? Is there somewhere you're directly them to, setting up with Trezors or ledgers? Or I worry about the
honestly, Hexy Quinn, that's something that we are processing at the moment, because this is like I said, logistically, it's the scale is really massive. And so, I mean, right now what we're trying to do is really just learn firsthand, right, through our own engagements, through the sessions that we're having with them. We're taking notes alongside, and so it's an ongoing process right now. But we do have people who I don't know if you guys have met Paul Lindbergh, but he has so he's on the team. He's also joined the investment firm that I started, 3Lock. He's on board 3Lock now, and he has a security course that he does, like a crypto security course. And so so that's, but the thing is, guys, there's some, so this is what we're learning, right? Like in theory, a lot of this stuff is like, okay, we just do this, and this. But then when you're on the ground and you meet these people and you start going through some of the material, then you realize, oh my gosh, they don't actually have enough to buy hardware wallets, right? Or they, most of them just use mobile phones, which usually you'll hear crypto educators say that's a no-no, right? Try not to use your mobile phone, right? So there are these things that we have to account for, and we have to pivot. And so and also just the bandwidth that they have for learning all of these things, we need to make things as simple as possible. And so like one potential solution, which I do, which also simplifies my life as far as crypto, is really just using a separate device, right? Whether it's a separate phone or a separate a cheaper laptop that's just not used for anything whatsoever. So that may be like the central way that we teach, as opposed to all of these I mean, what I'm trying to say basically is that we're working on coming up with something as simple as possible for them, but at the same time still providing, right, for those who do want to go deeper, providing that as an avenue for learning as well. But there's stuff that we're gonna have to work through, because originally in my mind it was just that, right? These crypto security courses, like the stuff that Paul has, just run them through that, and that's it. But yeah, there's
Well, I
a
think
lot of
for a lot of us, like for me personally, like crypto is my passion, it's my hobby, it's my interest.
Mhm.
The community is, I'm a part of it. But my onboards, like it's not their world. Like sure, I want to be
Exactly.
invested, but I'm
Exactly.
not going to be, I'm not watching crypto content 24/7 or TA 24/7 like I am. And so then I worry about them because they
Yeah.
don't love it as much as I do, but it's still their investments. So I just
Yeah.
always worry about, I'm like, do you still have your seed words? Do you know where they are? Did you get a treasure yet? So I worry about the no coiners just thinking they're okay and not
Yeah.
really hearing everything that we hear daily. So
Sure.
Yeah. I think. Go ahead, Forrest.
I was going to ask, and just to put it into perspective for folks who may not know, just speaking specifically on like the United States dollar currency, how far does that go in the Philippines, and how life changing can a singular unit of currency change someone's life over there?
Yeah, it's insane when you do the math. I mean, so it's around 55 pesos to $1. Minimum wage here is at about 500, 700 pesos a day. So that's what, like $10 or something?
Wow.
10, 12, $15, somewhere thereabouts. But that's minimum wage. I mean, it's a massive percentage of people that live right on less than that. And so, like literally with that amount, there's some families that can families of, I mean, in the areas that we've been visiting, sometimes families of five or even bigger that can live on that kind of an amount for like almost close to a month. As in, that's how insane the difference is. And so the impact that, how far a dollar can go, it's really mind-blowing. Yeah.
So yeah, whenever John talks about this and unlocking abundance to fuel generosity and to unlock the future of these people, it's true that something that is so overlooked or maybe not as appreciated here in the States can go a long way in these other countries, especially the Philippines, and it can truly like change their life. I think that for me is just, that's exactly what, echoing back to my grandmother. I mean, that's what she used to tell me stories about. She used to say, you don't understand, son. She would be talking about like what you are used to here is not the same everywhere, as the most basic way to put it. But I mean, for me, hearing it from you and like seeing the work that you all are doing in the Telegram group and everything, and it warms my heart to know that like the donation phase is going towards something that truly can propel a people forward.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's at their fingertips. That's something that, I'm really passionate about. Like all of these exponential technologies, right? I mean, they were out of reach, 5, 10 years ago. Whereas now, I mean, you have an internet connection and a mobile phone, and you have access to Chat GPT. You have access to all of these things that, and it's just that they need the education. They just need to know it, right? And they've already, like so many, like I shared earlier on with Axie Infinity, like so many Filipinos figured that out. They were supporting their families. They were, it's not that straightforward, right? And it's just getting easier and easier. Things are getting more and more user friendly, and so there's no reason that um, that that these guys in these churches um, that they not capitalize on this and leverage this, right? And of course, being a believer, and not just that, but I mean, we want this abundance in the hands of people who want to serve others, right? And
Right.
who have that
Exactly.
abundance mindset and who don't want to gatekeep. And so I think that's really the name of the game. I mean, I know it bothers Matt when I say game because he's like, but it's right, getting that abundance to people who have that kind of a mindset and who have that kind of a heart, who will spread the wealth, and then you have this ever increasing feedback of generosity, right, and abundance.
Yeah, it's such a powerful movement altogether. I did want to take the time. Cody Lane actually asked a question here. Hypothetically speaking, what if Pulse Chain mainnet launches before the donation phase is up? Would we be able to donate on both chains?
So so far, from what I understand, there will only be one donation phase from discussions that we've had. But I don't know, things we're definitely deploying on Pulse Chain, right?
Sure.
No matter what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, as of right now, it is just one donation phase, and that's to the Gem Effect Ethereum wallet. So
Yeah, that's the way to the information that I've researched and watched on Crypto Heartbeat stream with you and everything. That's how I understand it as well. As it looks like it'll happen on the Ethereum side, and
Yeah.
then copies would be made available on Pulse Chain. But again,
Exactly.
that's a great question, Cody Lane. I
Yeah,
would.
thanks for that.
So what we got here, we got some folks from Australia in the chat.
Hey, what's up?
Nico, excuse me. I need to
Guys,
up my prescription.
is this your second episode now or third? How many is it?
This is number 2.
Number 2. Okay.
Lucky number 2, man. It's
Awesome.
it's
Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's really
it's
great that you guys are doing this. Super.
Yeah, it's great to share with the community. Yeah, we've been in communication with other. I have been in communication with other members of the community, crypto space, and the DeFi networks, and we want to make sure to share out anyone who's really interested in the giving in alternative ways. So like there's a lot of artists and musicians within our community. So I've been in discussion with them, and hopefully in the future they'll come on. So the future is going to be fun. I mean, I'm excited for this. I'm excited to have had Crypto Heartbeat on, Rags to Riches. I mean, this has been amazing to have you all, and the time that you all have taken out of your time or your days, it's been mind blowing to me. I can't even formulate words. That's how exciting it's been for me.
We've already got our first musician here.
Oh, yeah. I see John has some guitars in the back.
Dude,
John, you play.
I heard your skills on. Yeah, man. You need to bust out with more of those songs. Really.
Maybe.
Berkeley. Wow, man. It's like woohoo.
Man, it was there's so many folks that I met while I was there that just made me think about music so much differently. Like my roommate at the time, this was in 2009, but he was from Venezuela, and he was 16. I was 19, and he was about 10 years better than I am into the future. And I was like, maybe I'm not supposed to be here. It was just insane, man. But yeah, it's great, man. Maybe what we can do is we'll put together a song for some of the stuff that you got coming up in any way that I can help in the musical front or in the video front. I'd be happy to do that.
Cool, man. Yeah, because I went to music school as well, and what I really like, it was like you just said, it was very eye-opening, and a lot of things. Like I used to be like super close-minded as far as like just into my whatever punk rock, blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
Right. I went to music school, and yeah, it just like all of these absolutely amazing musicians who just from a various from the the full spectrum of genres, right? And it was the first time that actually I learned to appreciate like country music as well,
Right.
because like some of the best guitar teachers, right, they were all like, that's my dream, to go and play country. I mean, because some of the best musicians are apparently, and I had known this was how ignorant I was, right? I didn't know that many of them are play country, right?
Yeah.
Or from a country background.
Chicken pickers.
So yeah, absolutely amazing stuff, man. Just blew my mind when I was first exposed to that stuff.
Man, I want to hear you shred now, man.
It's been literally 2 years. Can you imagine? Which is very bizarre for me because I was always playing on a regular basis. So I actually haven't been, I haven't been playing. I need to get back into it. So this is, yeah. Sometimes.
the new bucket list item for me then is I'm gonna find my way to the Philippines, and I'm gonna grab an acoustic guitar, and you and I are gonna jam.
And do some chicken picking.
Yeah. Love it, brother. Love it. I do want to make sure I get these questions answered while they're coming in the chat. Let's see. We got Mobius. Is Gym Effect linked to any larger church orgs or self-supported?
So they have relationships with with many other organizations, but they're pretty much self-supported. So Gem Effect technically is a council of 100 churches, but it just so happens that many of the members of these churches are also part of other larger organizations. So Pastor Roy, for example, the chairman, is also the treasurer of Cavite for Jesus movement, which is that that organization I mentioned that has thousands of churches. Then you have a number of people from within Gem Effect who are all, like Ambassador Andy Padilla, who is in numerous organizations. And so but as far as support, right, they are they're pretty much independent in that they don't get like regular support from international organizations or anything like that.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for taking the time to answer that. We got Robert Keller Jr. coming in. What's going on, everyone? Hey, Robert, good to see you. We got, let's see who else we got. I see, like, what I need to do is I need to figure out a way to have the background music in here. I tried to do it earlier, and it's just like
really good.
Yeah,
Actually.
let me see if I can like hear, because whenever I pause, I feel like there's so much dead space, and I don't want people to be like, all right, come on with it, man. Let's see right here. Let's see if we got this. Yeah, chat. Let me know if this is too loud, too quiet, etc. I'm gonna keep it behind us.
I think you're doing an amazing job, man. So I started streaming recently, and oh my gosh, all the mistakes that I've been making. I went through this entire presentation with realizing that I wasn't showing any of the slides afterwards. Right? I mean, they just saw my face like on the camera, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes I'll have it crop in, and it'll just be like right on my forehead. I'll be like, "Whoa!" Scared me out, man. It scares me.
I'll let you know about the music. That was my old job on my old stream. Turn down the music. Turn it up. Turn it down. Because that's my area of expertise.
But you know what, guys? I know I mentioned this already, but I'll say it again. That you guys are doing this, that the community is taking initiative to do stuff like this. Stuff like this makes a massive difference, I think, because at the end of the day, as has been said over and over again, it really is about community, right? It is about people coming together and building culture, setting culture, and showing people, right, just how what it can be like. And so even like Steve, just you going through some of the stuff, the whale data and whatever, I mean, giving people examples of how they can add value, because a lot of people are out there like they get it, they want to be part of this, and they but they're also kind of working their way through, so what do I do now, right? How can I add value for the ecosystem? How can I, so seeing these conversations between, because we're all learning, right? I mean, we're all learning
every day.
Yes, absolutely.
So bringing people on board that journey, and I think that it makes a massive difference. So yeah, I love that you guys have started on this. It's brilliant, man.
Yeah, I think that's for me too. I mean, I was a little bit shy, camera shy, so to speak, and being able to be with other folks like David and Hexy and Immutable and yourself, like it's reassuring me of the future that I want for myself and my family, because I see it as you all are my neighbors and are my family in this future that we dream of. So it's nice for us all to have a place where we can come and like speak our minds and share what we're excited about, and be open with each other, because a lot of times whenever we're trying to onboard folks, some of them may not want to hear it, and that can be deflating to some. So it's nice for us to come together and other folks can see that, like, I mean, I'll be the first to admit I am the crypto noob, like just 100%. Like give me an award for like the noob level. It's over 9,000. But like, I mean, truthfully, it is so great, man, and I appreciate you saying that. I couldn't agree more. Let's see, we got please. All right, so we got someone here says, please can you bring KG from Internet Money? I believe the wallet can further both TEXAN and Ophir. I would love to. If if you want to reach out and put in a good word, do a warm transfer for us, I'd be open to that. I would also be open to reaching out to him myself. So I will make sure.
He's fun to stream with too.
Fantastic.
He's a character, so that would be fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I've got that starred. That way I come back to it. I would definitely reach out. But look at this. David Lee, you got some fans in the chat, my friend. Good to
Always.
see you.
Love you guys.
Oh, man. You can feel the love through the mic. Let's see. David Lee is one of the most amazing humans I've ever met. I would like to go ahead and just say that to everybody in the chat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we wouldn't be where we are if not for, just the love that he's shown and the support that he's given to, to guys in the community and on the team. So absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Well, John, I can't tell you how happy I was when I learned about Ophir and you, because we go back to the Compassion Cartel and Matt setting up the prayers for Stacy.
Yeah,
and you were right there. I mean, so then when I found out this much later that, the connections were already made, I already knew what your heart was. And in this community, it's not an uncommon quality. You guys are all fantastic.
Man, what a great family to be a part of. What a great family to be a part of. Robert Keller, what I think is cool is everyone has a unique talent to help the community, from music to real estate to electrical, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. TEXAN, HEX. The grand picture of crypto is the next step for humanity. I could not agree more. Let's see what we got here: to come together and to help each other. That's right. That's what it's all about, man. The vision and what Crypto Heartbeat talks about regularly in community with one another. And man, and I've heard stories of the Compassion Cartel, and man, it was almost destined, huh? It just feels like all of the right pieces, all of the right people found each other.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. Because that's how it. That's the reason I reached out to Matt originally as well. It was because of, because he spoke about the Compassion Cartel, and just seeing, that kind of solidified really. I mean, he took action on what he'd been talking about, right? He actually did something and pulled people together, and that's what spurred my reaching out. Actually,
man, that's awesome.
Yeah, the false promise with allowing people to line up with unlocking generosity the way that Matt did that. It was like moss to the flame. We all, it was this first time where you could look forward with something beyond when Lambo for what this future holds for us. And it was just amazing. All the people that it drew in, and I think this is going to be okay. Just a little prediction, but I think the Compassion Cartel is going to be a historic level VC group one day for good.
Amen.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to highlight Ophir one more time here. I want to bring it up to folks. Let me click this button here. There we go. All right, so key security and decentralized features. The Ophir token smart contract has been designed to empower you to reach your goals and unlock generosity worldwide. Immutable, the Ophir token contract cannot be changed by anyone. There are no admin keys. It's just you and the contract. Has interest scraping built in. Users can choose to scrape earned rewards at any time without penalty. Trustless yield, earn interest yields for no counterparty risk. Deflationary, the Ophir token supply is fixed at 100 trillion tokens and only deflates as penalties accrue, and it is security audited with Certec. And also the check mark that I also want to echo back to is that this is going to change a lot of folks' lives for the better. So if this is something that you feel compelled to do, I highly recommend looking into donations for the donation phase of the Ophir token. Is there any other things that you wanted to add into the mix, my friend? And I want to be respectful of everyone's time. Is there anything else any other questions or anything else you would like to say, John?
No, on my end, just thanks. Well, thanks so much for having me on. Thanks so much to the larger communities as well for all the support that you've been showing. And we do need, just continue to pray for us. It's a massive task that we have ahead of us, and the opportunity to be a blessing to so many people who really need it, right? So your prayers would be appreciated. Get involved in the community if you have time to do that, and obviously if you can donate, that would be wonderful too. But really, just being in the community. I mean, so many guys like that actually just showing their support in the Telegram makes such a massive difference, and they're meeting like these, because we're little by little we're getting these pastors into the Telegram, and they're kind of finding their way through all that. But seeing that happen and building those relationships between folks from abroad who want to take part, and these people on the ground who are actually serving. I mean, that in itself is a massive joy, and I would highly recommend that you guys join the Telegram and just get a feel for what's going on.
There's so much good spirit in that Telegram chat, man. Like I pop in, and man, everyone brings smile to my face every day. I mean, truth be told, it's the first thing that I always look at, because I love to hear everyone says good morning to one another. Everyone says good night to one another. Everyone is there. And there is certainly, I've heard you say it before on a stream, and there is a virality factor to the Filipinos, and there is a community that is amazing and very, very special.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Go ahead, David.
I just say, anyone that hasn't joined yet, the love that just pours out of that group, forwards, backwards, and into the future is amazing. And John, you need to be commended for being on the ground, making those connections, the value that's going to come out of that, and the intelligence that you're gathering, how to what needs to be in your face level. Can't tell you the value of everything that you're doing that way. It's wonderful. Good job.
Thanks, man. Thanks. And just being aware that this is part of a bigger picture, right? I mean, through because the way I see it, these are all, we're snowballing here, right? You have TEXAN, there's Ophir, there will be another, and we're learning throughout all of this, and just basically, I mean, what Matt and them are doing with the unifier token, and I mean, it's just, we're gonna look back on this and be like, wow, we got to be a part of this, right? I mean, it's just amazing.
It's just the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the beginning. Exactly. And so that's what I keep reminding myself of, right? I mean, as we're going through these things, that continuous improvement, right? You're constantly learning so that we can improve what the things that'll be pursued in the future.
Phenomenal, guys. I'm trying to share into the chat right now. We have a couple of questions about the official Telegram, and I want to make sure I have that right. It is t.me/Ophir Crypto. Is that right?
Ophir Crypto. That's right.
Fantastic. And I'm also sharing into the chat right now our Discord groups for Mission 22, and just other ways that you can reach out to us. If this is something that you all are interested in learning more about, we want to make sure you have as many avenues to get directly to the sources. There are a lot of folks who try to make fake accounts. We want to make sure you have the exact information that you need to find it from the sources. So the only official website for Ophir Crypto is, in fact, ophircrypto.com. I'll pull all this stuff as here. This is going to be your direct link to the website, t.me/Ophir Crypto for the Telegram group. And then let me pull up. I'm going to, in the main chat here on YouTube, I'll go ahead and share a couple of other links for you all as well. But man, I wanted to say thank you again. Thank you, all of you. Again, this is great to be here. It's a blessing, and I'm every single day I wake up more and more excited for everything that we're a part of. So thank you to the community. Any closing thoughts from anybody?
If we ever start that segment, picking and grinning like from Hee Haw, John, would you come back and play?
Ooh.
What's that? What? Picking and what?
Picking and grinning? Yeah. Have you ever heard that before, John?
No. I haven't.
Let me so whenever you're playing your guitar, right, like you got to cross. Look, I'm wearing jorts, so don't make fun of me. So boom. All right, so
Starts with that denim jacket.
hey, I had to look kind of cool. I had to look presentable from the waist up.
I'm
right?
not wearing any pants at all. Whatever.
Watch it. It's too funny. Hey, a quick aside, real fast. One time I did a job interview, and it was like virtual. Everything was virtual, and they were like, "You have to dress up." And I just put on a dress shirt and a blazer and a tie, and I just went in my boxers because I was like, "Wait there," but I forgot to hit end live, and I stood up and walked away from the interview. And they didn't tell me about it. I got hired for the job. I would assume that it was because of that. But,
Yeah, I would hire you for that too.
And like 2 years after I had been at this place, they finally let me know. The recruiters are like, "Hey, you remember that thing you submitted, right?"
After 2 years, I would have
mess.
told you right
That's
on your
classic.
first day.
Look, I got to share. I got to share a little piece. I got to share all of my wins and my failures with everybody. Look, I want to say thank you to everybody who's joined in with us tonight. Mobius, we've got Drix in the house. We've got Empty. We're glad to have you as a part of this journey, my friend. And we got Imrock Jockey. I want to say thank you to everybody else who has been in the chat. Again, you can check out everything ophircrypto.com or t.me/Ophir Crypto in Telegram. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it a night, folks. Picking and grinning, John. Before we go,
Yeah,
picking and grinning.
okay.
I can't leave you hanging on that one. So it comes from. I heard it all the time growing up in the mountains. So like whenever you got your guitar on your lap and you're just playing a little ditty, like you're finger picking and you're just smiling, right? You're having a good time. That's picking and grinning, brother. So whenever I make my way out to you, man, we're gonna pick and grin. Chicken
Let's
picking
do
and
it.
grinning on the
Yeah.
back porch, man. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you all sorts of funny stuff about the South. All right, folks. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. We are going to call it a night. My name is Forrest. This is TEXAN TAILGATE, where we cover all things in the cryptocurrency space, especially in freedom and DeFi, everything to do with this entire beautiful place. Thank you to Richard Hart for showing us all the way through all of the different projects. Hex, we couldn't be more bullish on Pulse Chain and everything that's about to be opened up and everything we will be supporting in the future. It's going to be amazing, folks. And then I'm going to dial in this music real quick because I always do these awkward closes, and I swear one day I'll get it down. But in the meantime, you all are gonna have to deal with me. Let's do this. All right, ready?
See
There we
you
go.
guys.
John, thank you so much for being
Thanks,
here, brother.
man.
Bye,
All
guys.
right. Thank
Love
you for
y'all.
tuning
Have a
in.
great week.
Texan Tailgate. Till next Sunday.